Yes, so you can always get us on that one there, right? And I'm going to ask that you, please, 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 if you're a supporter of the next generation, our generation, because remember, it's not only what we're doing in Africa that our projects are touching, right? It's what we are doing right here. We're saving lives, saving families right over here in the UK as well. So we're doing this fundraising evening, right? We're doing this fundraising evening. So come along, have some fun with us, introduce yourself. If you're a member of an organization, even better still, come and do some networking, right? Come and do some networking, and also ensure that all those who are there with you, right? Bring them along as well. Bring them along as well, right? Because we definitely need to be linking directly with each other here. We really do. We really do, right? And don't think. Oh, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of this. Don't. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Right? I will tell you why. I will tell you why you don't do that. It's because we are in need. There's a next generation that is coming through. New young lives are being affected, right? They're being affected by what's happening right around the world, right around the world, right? If you are here and you've gone through your time, you've gone to school, you got your education, you got your degree, you got your masters, and you're sitting good. But what happens with the next generation that comes through? Hmm? And don't think that we are the ones who are just gonna say, okay then, that's enough now. I've done enough. Trust me, what I've discovered on this, what I've discovered on this thing here, on this journey here, there is never a thing called enough. Never a thing called enough. That's all. Right? I'll try to get this video up here. I don't know why it's not coming up, but which is a pity. Oh, let's try this one here. Let's try this link. Oh yes. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So listen now. Listen now. This is part, and you know something. You know when things just come, things come, messages come, information just comes very appropriately at this time. I want you to listen to this young man here. So true. So true. So true. We have to realize what we have to do for our preparation, for our reparations. You feel said that you can just go there and just look for job. This is the conversation that we was having yesterday. We was having this conversation yesterday with the fathers group, and with permission, I'm just being the context of the conversation, not exactly what we were saying directly, but the context of what we were saying. Right, one of our brothers, he was able to go and spend some time in South Africa. This young man is from South Africa. So, while he was relaying his experience in South Africa, and and I will tell you now, this brother there, right? He's a person that has a very open view about the society differences out there. So as I admire the credibility of what he was sharing with us. He was there for 4 months. 4 months working, right? He was requested on a job to go over there to work. Anyway, so we was asking what was the differences that he saw? What did he actually saw for himself? And he was relating to us that the differences between the rich and the poor, the black and the whites, and how the apartheid system still rules in the undertone business over there, and how some of the people there, they were looking to say that they wanted things to return to how they were. Yes, yes, you heard me correct. They were looking for things to return to how they were. Mainly because obviously, when they broke away, all the benefits, what was already put in place by the white system, they just blanked the black system that was there. So they stopped trading, right? Or reduced it to the extent of where it wasn't even profitable. It wasn't even profitable. So it's it's one of these things that you have to say, okay, then what would you do if you was in that situation? Right? What would you do if you was in that situation there? Huh? And this is the dilemma now. This is our dilemma. That we're sitting here in the UK, and this was a statement that I made as well. And correct me if I'm wrong. Please do. Come on and tell me if I'm wrong in what I'm thinking. We are here in a land of freedom of speech, to an extent of that we can be here on the galaxy and we can talk about virtually any subject. We can talk about any subject, any political party, right? We can speak and say within reason about any individual, or their behavior, right? Or any political party globally. right? So we have that freedom of speech like that. So imagine you growing in a world of where you had a total carte blanche of speaking your mind. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine just having that freedom of speech, political expression? Can you imagine that? Right? Yes, you may get an opposition from one person or another, or the system or whatever, but it's not a case of that. They're going to come and they're going to put a gun to your head and they're going to say, if you don't keep quiet, we're going to shoot you. And then if you turn up and say, you know what, go along about your business. You feel say me afraid of you? And then all of a sudden, bam! You won't even hear the bam. You won't even hear the bam. But everybody around you will. You won't even hear it. And there goes your freedom of speech. Can you imagine living in a society like that? Because we have seen it. Charlottesville massacre. Remember the Charlottesville massacre? Huh? What the- huh? Do you remember that? With the young children, when the young children, right, they were protesting. Children, school children. Yeah? Remember the Charlottesville massacre? 69 deaths, 21st of March 1960. Injured 180. Right? Charlottesville massacre occurred on the 21st of March 1960 at the police station in the township of Charlottesville in the then Transvaal province of the then Union of South Africa. Union of South Africa, my back foot. After demonstrating against the anti-black pass law, right? A crowd of 7,000 black protesters went to the police station, right? So basically, they were making up laws in Africa saying that the black people can't do what they want to do. And what did they do? They just open fire upon them. Open fire upon them. Do you remember that? 1960. Freedom of speech we have. And this is one thing, and I've said it many, 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 many times, right? And you can come, please do come and correct me if you feel said that I'm wrong, right? Because I know said that we have enough chat when it comes to, oh, they should do this, they should do that. If it was me, I would do this, I would do that. I know we got enough chat on that. This is the Black Father Support Group show, right? We can discuss things openly, and we are. This is our invitation to discuss things openly. Because if we as black men, black parents, potential future parents, can't discuss this thing now and set our boundaries, set our laws, put our voice to the grindstone, set it in concrete, then where can you do this? Where can you do this? And this is why we are supporting and building and supporting our children in Africa. This is why we're doing that. This is why we do that here in the UK. This is why we do that. Right? Don't feel sad. Please do not feel sad. That is a soft thing that we are doing. So my point is now, this is my point of discussion, right? When I brought to the discussion, because listening to what was happening there in Africa and the despondency of the citizens as they are at this particular time, right? And I stated, this is what I stated, that we are a people who are living in a society of free speech. We have a utopia type view of how we would love to see Africa. We would love to see our African families in unification with one another. This is how we would like to see that. We could go to Africa. We could express that. Nothing will be said or done to us. But an African says exactly the same thing. They would probably be murdered. They probably would be murdered. And this is my point, and I've always had, and I've had this thought for a very, very long time, right? We are the tainted people. As diasporians, we are tainted. Yes, we have the advantage that we may be more financially better off than a lot of the Africans on the land. We may have that advantage, right? We may also have the advantage of that we are able to go and get a full education, right? We have that advantage as well, right? But do we know what it takes to be an African? When we go there, are we posturing like we are kings and queens and flaunting ourselves, flaunting our wealth in front of these people, thinking, well, this is how we would like to live. Oh, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be participating in that. Oh no, I can't be using those types of toilets. So no. Oh gosh, no. No, look at the state of that meat. Oh no. I can't be eating this. I can't be eating that. Are we doing that? Are we doing that? Or do we want to live like the rich Africans that are also taking advantage of their own people? Huh? Some of them are multi-millionaires. They are multi-millionaires, right? But yet the political systems over there are so embroiled in self-preservation that it doesn't filter down to the person on the street. And why does it not? Why does it not filter down to them? Because they want to accumulate the wealth for themselves. They want to accumulate that wealth for themselves. What type of foolishness is that? Well, hold on, sorry. You see, guilty again. Because we're taking it from our view of oneness, the openness, the the let's live together. Let's look for one as one family. Let's move together as one family. That's what we're doing with date. We're bringing our utopianism view into their society. Those of us who have visited there, we know that sometimes does not exactly pan out. Some of us who have been there, we could go there, we could probably spend our life's earnings or savings, and then for some reason it just doesn't work out. We could go there, buy houses, buy properties, buy land, and then when you go there, you find that that land was never for sale. Well, yes, it does happen. It does happen. But then what do you do? What do you do? How do you handle that? 0203 289 6504. And this is why I say, we may go there with the knowledge and understanding. And I feel that we should be in support of building a society. Yes, we should be there as in that support. I feel that we can do that in that capacity. But to make or put ourselves in positions of authoritative positions, right? I feel that it should be Africa for Africans. Africa for Africans. And I don't mean it in a way of saying that we cannot be influential in any way. Yes, we could be. We could be. But there's no way I feel that anybody who's not born within that country or on that continent should have any form of political influence in any way whatsoever. And likewise, when you get visitors come there, sir, them can't come tell you what to do in your own land. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Let alone you don't even look like a man from Africa. Why are you telling me what an African should do? You fake ass. Huh? Why are you telling me? Before what? Before what? Before you do what? Africa for Africans, yeah. Don't come like that with me, because look on this now. Look on this now. One of our philosophical leaders, icons, he put himself in a position that he learned the journeys and he learned the pathways of many a man and many a woman. And he wanted to do something, say something, be part of something that is going to be a total world changing. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Marcus Garvey's plans actually came to fruition? Can you imagine if they did? That possibly, because remember now, the American society, right, was hell bent on destroying that organization. Hell bent on destroying that organization. It should have been stronger, even without his presence. It should have strived and moved forward in its own right anyway. Right? It should have moved forward in its own right anyway, in its own strength. And even now, there are still some of us, and I say us, there are still some of us who are flying the flag, flying that flag, and flying that flag proudly of the red, black, and green. Some of us are flying that flag proudly because what? We recognize the journey. We give reverence to the journey. We give reverence to those who have lived their lives as servants towards giving us a message. What is your message? What is your message that you want to give to your people? Hmm? What is your message? What is your message? I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to tell you now. We need to develop our lives. We need to develop our language. We need to develop our message. We need to have our own testimonials. We need to have our testimonials of our lives and our future. Give something to others to aim for. Some of us are stuck and dumbed. They're muted. Why are they muted? Why are they muted? I'll tell you why they're muted. It's because they have not lived into what they need to live to. I'm looking on some pictures right here, right now, right? There's an image here. Right. Let me just blow this image up a bit. And it's outside their New York. It's outside their New York offices. Right? There's a photo of all the people there, and they're in their uniform. They're in their uniform. Can you imagine? Can you imagine us standing in our uniforms? Can you imagine us standing in our uniforms if we made a movement now? Because as black people, we're supposed to be in unification now. We're talking here as a galaxy family, right? Are we not? Are we not? Are we not? We're talking as a galaxy family. And I will say that even though we're talking as the galaxy family, where is our unification? Where is our unification? One thing I do love when I see a uniformed people, right? I've loved the time. I've loved the time when we've seen like demonstrations, right? And I've seen it recently as well. Seen it recently as well, right? When there's been demonstrations and shown and sorry, not shown. When there's been a showing of unification by black men. Black men. And they've come out in their thousands. They've come out in their thousands, and they're marching through the streets of America, and they're marching in unisons to whatever political um, place that they're actually demonstrating against. And I would say that we need to be moving in such manner again. And I don't mean the, oh, well, boy, them always start 2 hours late. So it's all right, man. You know what? I can't be bothered to even come out. There's people that come from all over the country. And I would tell you what, like, even for the last thing that we was there down in Windrush Square there for the first of Mosiah. There's people that come from all over the country, and we are there in London. And how many of you turn out to that? In all on, oh, it's raining. So listen, how many of you turn out to that? Huh? That should be one of the biggest demonstrations of blackness in the whole of England. That should be one of the biggest demonstrations of blackness in the whole of England. Your parents, your ancestors put their lives on the line for you to be where you're there. They put their lives on the line. History has been tried to be eradicated by this system, this political system. Even the ones that is ruling right now, they've tried to eradicate your presence, your historical presence. And yes, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. So don't expect them to be teaching you. So what do? We teach ourselves. We teach ourselves. And why do we teach ourselves? So that we know, we remember. We never forget. Never forget. You hear me? We should never forget. There's been many a person who I know. Well, I'm going to say two. I say many. Two that I know. They've come from foreign lands, born, educated in those foreign lands. They've immersed themselves into the UK culture, immersed themselves into there. Married, children, right? Married and children. And when they're married and children, guess what? They've even forgotten their own tongue. And on both occasions, I've heard them say, "Oh, I've forgotten how to say that now in the language that I knew." I knew, not that I know, I knew. They allowed themselves to be totally washed out. Totally washed out. So when we are talking about, we need to make our connection, we need to remember, we need to educate ourselves. We need to educate our young people of the journey. We need to establish within them the urgency of progress and put them in a position so that they do progress. We've got to put them in that position there, sir. And don't let them forget it. Do not let them forget it either. Yeah? Because if you do, that is just another soul that is lost. 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 Lost to what? Lost to the whole of house of society, the whole of life is going to be for them. That is like your name just being erased out of the book, history books of timeline. What a terrible place to be. That your family, your family has been eradicated out of the timeline. And this is what, unfortunately to say, these people have been doing. And they do it all the time. This is why they don't want to bring that conversation into the chambers of commerce. They don't want to bring it into the political arena. Because every one of them owes a payment of some kind, or reparations of some kind. Every single one of them. I'm not holding back. I'm not holding back in what I'm saying. Well, I hope I'm not holding back in what I'm saying. Right? Because if you feel say that you want me to just be quiet about things like this, are you crazy? Are you really crazy? No. Let me just put a little reminder in your head. Mm-hmm.
Just like dew that cling to dawn, I'll cling to you, my love. I can't erase the memories of things we used to do. Oh, I love you, girl. Oh, how I love you. Now I sit alone with memories by the storm. You remind me of the golden sun that shines after the storm. Oh, how we used to plan a life in dreamland for us both. Now you have shattered our plan and got yourself another man. Now I sing along with memories by the song. I pray the stars may safely keep and watch you while you sleep. And day by day the sun will shine as you trot along the way. Remember, I always love you, girl. No matter where you are, though I'm left alone with by the storm. Though I'm left alone with memories by the storm.
Remember when they came, they had many dreams. Yes, we have it now. You see the journey come a long time here. Not true. Huh? The journey has only what one step at a time, isn't it? One step at a time, because there's still many who are coming. There's still many who wants to come. Still many of those are still taking their journey. There was a report this morning, and yeah, they were having a conversation on the news report this today, right? Disparaging, obviously. They're talking down the prime minister and everything, but one of his statements, or brash statements in his election, was, "I shall stop all of those boats coming over." Right? And if anything, They've had more boats now. I've just missed your call. Sorry, 2963. Right? Just you can call back again, please. Right? They're gonna stop all those boats coming over. Let me tell you something now. People are hungry, People are so hungry that they will keep coming, because they can just say, "Well, at least there's something down here," so that they can try and work with. Right? At least it's something they can come and work with. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Brother Aston.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
I know I sound like I'm echoing. Am I right?
Yes. You're sounding good. You're sounding good.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about. You touched on this a little bit earlier about what's going on in South Africa. Yeah.
No, we was discussing around that, wasn't we?
Yeah. So it just brings out a lot of things to me. Even though I wasn't born there and I didn't live there, I've never been to South Africa. I've been to parts of Africa, but I've never been to South Africa. Do you know what I'm saying? But the idea not that I don't feel what those people are feeling
exactly.
there, because I'm not there. To me, you know what I'm saying? It's like saying I don't have no connection. You know what I'm saying? And you know that I shouldn't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? To me, I can feel like I want to feel.
Look, when I make my statement, right, I am open to discussions, right? It's where I'm feeling that I'm balancing myself there, so yeah. Okay, because we've traveled extensively through in various other places, haven't we? Right?
Yeah.
Right. So our view of Africa is, I would feel, if I'm going to generalize our perspective of it, is more of a historical and fact finding experience that we've had. Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, you can say that that's part of it as well. And the other part is that we are more connected with, obviously, living in the information age as well. Yeah. So the information is that we can connect to our brothers and sisters in the continent, and they can connect with us, and we can get reports from them, and they can get reports from us, and so on and so on. So we live in a different world just in terms of how we look at things prospectively. You know what I'm saying? So the way that we look at our perspectives should be enhanced, obviously depending on where you are in terms of having that, whether you want to have a connection with Africa or the continent or or the Caribbean or wherever our people are. Do you know what I'm saying? But the thing is that, you know what, really, I feel like I feel really, it's a painful thing for me to even say this, to feel that what's going on in South Africa and our people, wherever we are, it's like we haven't really made a major impact to change the dynamics, okay? So the majority of our people can benefit from the system. I don't see how we're benefiting from the system economically or politically or with these lame governments. To me, none of that stuff doesn't work to me. I would like someone to explain to me, because a lot of people talk about politics and the economy and all this government thing. And, you know, we've been talking about it for decades, yeah? I want somebody to explain to me in 2023, how does that work for the majority of people? It benefits small amounts of black people, I'm sure. There's black people out there, they don't feel that there's an issue or there's a problem, you know what I'm saying? They think that we're living in a world of paradise and all of this stuff. That's fine. I don't have nothing against those people that feel in the most comfortable position that they feel in. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we're here in this country called Little England, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like we live in a world of pain and fantasy, and we're deluded.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You're not
there
even
you
thinking
go.
that connection is connected. Whatever happens in the continent of Africa or the Caribbean or wherever people are, that we're somehow not connected with all that. You know what I'm saying? And we're not feeling that. You know what I'm saying? The levels of poverty, this is what really hurts me, yeah? Because we can talk about all this fake independence stuff, right? Which is just independence on paper. It's not real. This idea that we're liberated and that we're free, all of this stuff, to me, it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Because we really got to look at ourselves and think to ourselves, is any of this stuff really working for the majority of our people? And again, like I said, it might work for some of our people and our people who benefit from it and all of this stuff, okay? But, you know, you think about it, yeah? We've had all these countries, the Caribbean countries, for example, and African countries, they've had independence, right? What have they been doing since that time? They've not, I think the thing is, we're doing everything. To me, it looks like we're just impersonating and imitating the European system. And because of that, right? Because of that, we kind of like going the wrong way. We're going wrong route.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're using their system.
Just pause there a second. Just pause there a second, right? You see what y'all say? You see what y'all say? Right? That is what the system or this system wants of us. We are totally subservient and mindless, out and disconnected from our purpose, our families, our true way of living. This is why when I've spoken to like many an African man, right? They would turn around to me and say, "Boy, you know, you being from here from the UK, right? You really do not grasp the value of what you could have done and where you should have been." Right? And I would say to them, why do you say that? And he says that maybe because we didn't have the opportunities that you had. Right? He goes, don't get me wrong, some of us come from wealthy families. Right? Some of us
No.
Wait a minute. Allow me to finish.
Yeah, no, but
right? So they were able to get education and then travel and then do what they got to do, right? But we here, we could have attained and been more influential than what we should or what we could have been. And they were telling that to me. And I'm thinking, and this is over like 15, 20 years ago, right? So my perspective of Africans, right, has been on a conversation that has started many years ago. Yeah. So, you know, yeah. When I've gone there and seen for myself, I was thinking, okay, right. What benefit could I bring for there? You understand? Right. So therefore I would have to reassess my value of what I could bring to Africa if I went there.
Yeah, I know you got that side of it. Yeah,
Mm.
but I'm not even talking about that.
Okay, then go on. Go on.
Yeah, I'm not. And in terms of the wealth, okay, what wealth? What has any wealth anybody got? And again, when we're talking about wealth, you have to define what wealth is, because none of our, well, very few people are wealthy.
Mm.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. And the thing is, what I'm saying is, if you look at all all the politicians, think about this, right, Aston? Yeah. We never used to have politicians, black politicians. There was a time when there were no black politicians.
Yep, that's true.
Right? We've got a whole bunch of politicians now, right? And they don't even make one.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Right,
so,
right.
And we're saying, we will say, and there's this thing that goes around, oh, you got to be in it to win it and all of this stuff. Well, we've been in it for how many decades now? You know what I'm saying? We've been in it for 60, 70 years, and we're banging the same drum, saying the same thing. Oh, we need to be in politics. No, when you're in the politics, you're right deep in the deep infested institutions, right? And there's no change. They're not making an impact. What they're doing, yeah, they're only imitating, yeah, and personifying the same group of people that we're talking about, right? That's controlling everything, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the problem that we got, right, is that we need to have total self-independence, sovereignty, and be autonomous. They give us the governments, yeah. They give us the politics, they give us the economics, yeah. But they don't want to share none of that stuff. They want to control everything, 99% of it, yeah. Even our politicians, right? Our politicians, you know, the black politicians, they can't do what they want to do. So I'm saying they can't do. Their hands are tied. You know what I'm saying? They're going into that job, right? And their hands are tied. There's a noose around their neck, and all this kind of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? So, and you know, as you know, that if you're a good politician, if you're a good black African heritage politician,
yeah,
they don't want you in that position.
Exactly.
They don't want good good leaders.
Right.
Yeah, they want the bad ones.
Let me.
So how's that going to work for us?
Let me tell you my perspective of that as well. What you're saying is correct. If you are a person who are looking to say, you know what, let me see how I can do something for my people, the black people, right? That system is not made to do anything for us as black people, right? But we have to be in opposition to those other systems out there to enable us to actually move forward with anything. Yeah? Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't work though, does it? We've been doing it. This is what I'm trying to say to you, Aston, yeah? We've been saying this stuff, okay? We need to be there. We need to be in the top positions of government and all of this stuff, okay? We're in this country, England, right? Remember, you know, the government invited our people here, yeah? 1948, 75 years ago, right? Right? We got black. Remember, we didn't have black politicians then, yeah, in the 40s or the 50s, yeah. So in the 60s we start coming up now. You get more and more black politicians. Now you got black politicians in the Conservatives, in Labour and the Liberal Party and all parties that you can think of. There's black politicians all over the place now. You know what I'm saying? But the only one time that they ever came back together. This is the sad thing is, yeah, why we've even digressed so much, and I can see this. That's why I said the whole thing's not working for us. Yeah, the one time that all the black politicians came together, right? They didn't come to help us. They came to poison us.
They came to
you know what I'm saying? So to poison us.
Okay.
To promote the poison during the
business.
You know, the so-called pandemic period where all they want to do is just jab people up. Okay, they're not interested in anything else. They just want to jab you up. But that's the only time that all these black politicians and all these various parties came together, right, to endorse, to coerce, and to promote, these poisons into our communities. And that wasn't on their own bequest. Yes, they were told to do that, obviously, and that's the problem, right? We don't have no leadership in government. You You know what I'm saying? We don't have no leadership in these governments. Doesn't matter where we are, what leadership have we got? It's very, very poor.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I don't see that being the answer. We can't be saying this, doing the same thing over and over again and expect the same results. So I want somebody to explain to me how is this going to work? How is this going to work?
Right. I hear what you're
Yeah,
saying.
because we're deluding ourselves, bro.
I do hear. I do hear what you're saying. Right? Okay.
No, but it's the evidence.
Wait a minute.
I'm saying the evidence is there.
Right.
It's not working for us.
Okay,
Show me how it's working for us.
No. Wait a minute. I'm going to ask you that question now, right? What do you feel that we should do, right, to make a change and a difference?
Well, I mean, Marcus Garvey, okay, Marcus Mazar Garvey, yeah, and the UNIA, yeah, an ACL organization that started over 100 years ago, okay, that was about the best model that we could even use as an example. And he wasn't talking about politics. He wasn't even talking about economics. He just did it. He wasn't even talking about governance. He just did it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You see what I'm saying? Before the Europeans invaded our planet Earth, okay, right? Yeah, we already had a system in place that was working fine. And they've come in and implanted and installed their system, right? That's not working for the 99% of the majority of our people. You know what I'm saying? So it benefits them to have these leaders. They don't need, they don't need to control 1 billion people directly. They just need to control what? 30 odd in the Caribbean and 50 odd in Africa. What's that? That's less than 100 people. You know what I'm saying? That's all they need to do. They don't need to control every single one of us. And that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
These leaders are nothing more than administrators for the system of white supremacy, and that's been for decades. Yeah? And then all they do is they juxtapose the system to make us feel like we're getting somewhere.
One of the things that that I've observed over the last, like, since Gaddafi, right? Although it was going on way before Gaddafi, but like since Gaddafi, and because he was spearheading a major change, right? And then all of a sudden, obviously, he was assassinated in where he lives in, Libya. Sorry, I was going to say Saudi Arabia. So I was going to say Saudi Arabia, and I thought, no, that's not right at all. But Libya, Libya, right?
Libya.
And when he was assassinated, then I noticed like how they can liberally just go around, and anybody that speaks out of turn, even if that person was with them, right, and showing support to them, that they would turn around and they would just assassinate them or get rid of them without even a second thought.
Yeah, and that's illegal. You're not meant to do that. State assassination is illegal.
That is what they do,
but,
blatantly.
If you've got governments like the United States of America that can be the police of the planet, they can do whatever they want. That's what's happening.
Well, and that is what they're doing blatantly right across the world, right across the continent. So basically, it's colonization all over again. The fact is that those people who they were say, oh, they've been elected into position, they're part of the overall system that is there currently anyhow, right? But they are educated within that system to serve that system. Yeah. What we need is a total liberation away from that system, right? And the only way you can do it is like what's happening in Gabon, right? And in Niger, right? Where they are saying, you know what? We don't want your leaders. We want our leaders, you know, and that is the thing that we have to really take on. I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to take it on, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're gonna have to fight for what we want,
Mm,
what we need. It's just a complete struggle. The thing is, why should the majority of our people struggle and suffer? Yeah,
mm,
because just so that one small group of people, the one less than 1%, can benefit. You get what I'm saying? That's the dynamic.
but
This is the real thing, isn't it?
this is the stupidity of it all, is that we could sit around and watch them do their rubbish to all of us, right? And nobody would do anything about it. But yet one of us will say no, we don't want that, and they will all jump on us, right? Rather than attack the person who's there, who's oppressing the whole society, the whole system, you know. But hey, that's the way our life. That's how their life is, and unfortunately, there are more followers than there are those who are leaders.
Like, for example, right, so let me say something to you, yeah? Right? Like when these countries got independence, yeah?
Mm,
The Caribbean and African countries, what they should have did, and in hindsight now I can say this, yeah? Well, what they should have did, they should have said, you know what, we're going to build our own schools and colleges and universities, and it's going to be our schools and centres of learning, yeah? Because I'm saying, because what we've been doing for the last 60 odd years or whatever, okay, is we just adopt the same stupid system that's oppressing us, right? So for 60 years, we've just threw everything down. 60 years just gone down the drain, just a complete waste, because you've not done nothing with your children. You see what I'm saying? Should be, what is independence if you can't even train your own children? What good is independence?
You can't educate your own children. They can't even educate their own children to be like the leaders what they need to be.
No, you mean to say we're not allowed to then? We're not allowed to express ourselves like that.
Well,
do you get what I'm saying? No, because what is holding us back? What is stopping us? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, the Europeans do it. Every other group does it. Yeah, and they teach their own languages and everything and blah blah blah. Do you get what I'm saying? What do? We're teaching them European English and European history and European psychology and all of this stuff. All right, for 60 years, 70 years. What is it? You know what I'm saying? And it's the one that we're even more divided than before. Before independence, right? Or before, we can go back, yeah? We can go back, yeah? When we were segregated, more or less, we had more when we were segregated than we are where we are now. Do you understand that?
I heard this discussion. I think it was brought up by brother MX, right? He says that we were better off when we were segregated, right? Now, okay then. There's been many a time when you do that comparison, and the things that we had at the time, we had our own airline. I'm going by America, by the way. I'm using my thing by America. That they had their own airline. They had their own banks as well, colleges. Yeah. What else would they do? They had their own hospitals as well.
Yeah, bus services, every type of thing, cinemas, you name it.
That's right. They did have their own thing. And then I'm talking about the Tulsa massacre, right? So when obviously, the locals got all jealous over that type of thing, because they saw the money was going back into their people or back into the black communities, and they were going from strength to strength. And that's when they actually dropped bombs. They dropped bombs on the people, and actually, there was like street battles, that was just like a civil action, civil war, you know, that was going on there. I'm hoping that they'll capsulate that one time on a movie or something, you know, because I remember not too long ago, one of the Hollywood actors, Tom Hanks, it was. He said, "How comes I never heard about Tulsa?" Right?
Mm.
And why wasn't that taught in schools? Now that he's coming into his mature years, he can talk like that now. You know, he says,
Mm.
you know, we always
But that's
hear
a good
about.
example. You
Huh?
see what you just said, did you see? What I'm saying is, yeah, I know I'm going back. We're making comparisons, right? Going back in time, yeah, to today. But we haven't got anything else to
No.
sort of
Not in modern,
use as an example,
not in
right?
modern history, not in modern history.
Right.
Not
So
in
what
modern-
I'm saying is, you can make these comparisons because if you look at it, you can see that there's a stark difference.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? There is a stark difference when we're together, right? As long as we're not, you know, they're not intervening into our business and all of this stuff, because they're always doing that, yeah.
Mm.
You know, when we're together, we're more tight, we're more bonding together, we're more working and developing and building for ourselves, yeah. We never had no choice. We had to do that. You know what I'm saying? We had no choice because when the Europeans done what they did with the whole enslavement thing and everything, yeah, right, and then we had to let that go, yeah. They had to, you know, basically stop, you know, running us down and kidnapping us and all of this stuff, okay? Yeah, they made that decision because obviously we're pressuring them, innit? Yeah, we're fighting against them, yeah? We'll never stop fighting against the Europeans, you know what I'm saying? Fighting to be free, you know what I'm saying, from their system. You know what I'm saying? Right? But if you look at that example, that just shows you that how much we can develop ourselves, yeah, if we're together, yeah, without any other people being involved with us. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
At that time, we didn't have no choice. We had to do it for ourselves. Now they bring in this whole thing about integration and all that stuff. Now we don't think we need to do anything for ourselves no more. All we need to do is just worship Jesus, my Lord, God, and Savior, and that's it. End of story.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? So they substitute all these different things for us, okay, to pacify us, okay, to make us sort of docile or not able to focus on ourselves.
That's right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
this is why I emphasize that we need to develop our language of expression. We need to develop that language of expression so that when we're called upon to represent ourselves and to speak for ourselves, we can do that. Yeah, because there's many of us like yourself, Brother Ray. You've been campaigning and speaking on or expressing yourself on various subjects over the years, right? And the fact is that it's only because you've do it on a repetitive time, right? That you are able to express it. Come and speak freely like this. Many of us have the ideas in our head, and that's where it stays. That's where it stays. This is why we need to express ourselves. We need to have these forums of where we can come and speak, right? To ensure that we have the clarity of communication. Yeah.
I'm going to leave you, but all I'm saying that anybody's out there just hearing me, maybe people might think I'm off my head or whatever. I don't really business. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it based on how I was seeing it. I've been around too long now, right? Not to know what I'm seeing right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? Because I know, right, if the Europeans wanted to make this world a better place, their leadership wanted to make this, they could, but they're not interested. They don't want to. Right?
We know that.
They don't want to make this place a better place, yeah?
They're making what they're making.
Everybody on this planet Earth is entitled should have the right to have basic necessities. You know what I'm saying? Basic clean water, shelter, food. So I'm saying clothing, you know, good irrigation system, clean roads, basic stuff. This is basic stuff I'm talking about. Yeah? These billionaires, these multi-billionaires, these conglomerates, these massive mega corporations, they just come together now. They change their strategy now, and they're talking about, we want to run the whole world now.
Yeah.
We don't want to run just a piece of it. We want the whole world. We want to control all resources. We want to chip everybody. You know what I'm saying? We want to control everybody. They're on a different level now. You know what I'm saying? They've invested their time and energy, right, into their future. And this is the legacy. This is the legacy. We're witnessing the legacy of the European system of white supremacy that they developed over hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would say that the political party that's in there now, they've infiltrated all angles, and even if they are wearing the badges of other colors, they're still playing the blue card. I've got another caller on the line here.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off.
Okay, then, brother, man. Thank you very much. Yeah,
the Black Father Support Group. Yeah,
that's it, man.
One time, and everybody else one time.
Okay, then. 9051, please. Greetings.
Greetings. This is ex-chairman of the BFSG. Say that.
Greetings.
So I heard what Brother Ray had to say. Some of it I agree with, but if I asked you a question, who in our community is talking about black futures, what would the answer be?
Black futures?
Yes, the future of black people. Who's talking about it?
Right. Okay then. Hey, it's
a question. It's a question. Who's talking about black futures?
Why am I talking about it?
No, who is anybody? Who can you name me somebody that's their programs, their ideologies is black future, the future of black people. Who's doing that?
Right. From what I'm knowing, right, is that we're struggling with just the education. We're struggling with just the education. Preparation of the reparations, right, will entail that we need to be more prepared than what we are at this particular time. So in that way there, we need to have our educational systems, right? In other words, like if you're going to use the current systems, the university courses, to actually support us in developing our societies, right? From the African from the African perspective now, right? They are obviously looking to re-establish themselves as a system that is going to be on equal footage as the rest of the world, right? In my opinion, they will always be viewed and used as a commodity, and until they realize that they have to rise above that, then that is where we're going to have the problem, and then we have to support that with our educational system of rising above that, right? So to answer your questions directly from my perspective, right, no one's talking about it right now.
All right, thank you. So you could have just said that without the what's it called, but fair enough. So nobody's talking about black futures, and we don't. And the issue is that we don't even question this reality. If there was a ban on black history, people talking about black history, for example, then there would be no question. 90% of the conversations that we have in this community is about history. All of our solutions are based in the past, and we're probably the only people on the planet who actually believe that that's the truth. Everybody else plans for the future. Everybody else.
That's right.
In any which way they can. Anybody else. But we're the only people. So this is what I'm saying. I hear what Brother Ray's saying. Again, we're the ones that came up with the term white supremacy. We know white people were doing what they were doing, but we're the ones, and we legitimized the term, and we sent it round, we shouted it, and we screamed, and we banged our drums, and we came up with the word, and it didn't do us any benefit at all. All right. And that's because all of our investment, or 90% of our investment, is in the past, and that's just redundant. Yeah. It's a redundant way to be. If you want to know why we're not winning, black people, it's because we are addicted to the past. It's just that simple. We have to
I find
think about the future, and not talk about the future as in talk to young people about. Teach the young people about history. That's not what I'm talking about.
No. And that is just it. That is just it. We're supposed to be like, for instance, now I'm going to use it as an example, right? What's his name now? Archon. It's not Archon. Icon.
Akon.
Akon. That's it. I was going through the alphabet. Akon, right? He's building a city of the future, right? Right? Where he's getting the money from or whatever is irrelevant, but he's building a city of the future, right? Now that's going to take people who are living into the future to become citizens of that future. You understand?
Yeah, but
right?
I listen. You're speaking to like the choir to a certain extent. This is what I'm saying, innit? We do not talk about the future. There is no future planning when it comes to the black community. We've just been suffering, and then what somebody will say is that we've been suffering because of white supremacy. Now, although this thing exists, we are no way near as subjugated as we once were. We have to understand we are literally the dreams of our ancestors. Those of us that were enslaved or have captured people, if you want to talk like that. Yeah, we are their dreams. Their dreams. We drive cars. We live in warm houses. We've got, but we don't see it like this. I still hear people today who are driving big cars talking about they're going to the plantation. We need to work on what we're doing. This is nobody else's fault but our own. Okay. Nobody else's fault.
Where we are is our fault then, yeah.
This is our doing because we've allowed people to dictate our narrative. It's just that simple.
And
we allow others to tell us.
In many ways, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you with that because remember now, in the 60s, right, 70s, we had the Black Panther movement in America, and they saw that there were things that need to be done within their communities, and then it evolved. It organically evolved into a world organization, right? The Black Panther, and their influence throughout the world in various places, right? We're supposed to be on the top of that and riding and going forward now, right?
Well, no. So that's one of the misconceptions that we have, isn't it? And again,
why you say
I don't know why we do this. It's a misconception because the difference is that, for example, when the people they were doing the Black Panther in the 60s or whatever, they were doing it in these massive communities. There was a lot of black people, So the services that they were creating were being used all the time. There are numerous black people right now in this country that have got black services for people. But where they're struggling is because we don't have the numbers. We don't have the numbers in terms of the people. Not to support, to use, and what that means is that we should not be comparing ourselves to another market. I work in marketing or whatever I do, yeah. I wouldn't compare. So let's say, for example, I wouldn't compare. Although two things could be of the same, two pairs of trainers, Adidas, and let's say I said Nike, and I said what could I say? Prada. I could say Nike and I say Prada because Prada make trainers. Now to think that Prada should behave market wise like Nike behaves, the
No.
advertising to their trainer is a nonsense.
Yeah.
Prada has its own market. It has its own way of being. It has its own way of doing, and that's why it's successful.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't compare Prada to Nike. But we're the only people. But they're both trainers. We're the only people that will literally pick any story, black story on the planet, and say, yeah, that's our story, and that's not how it's supposed to be. It's lazy. Yeah, it's lazy and it's easy, and that's why we do it. And that's why and this, in my opinion, that's why we just go around in these circles. And then when you've got people that are convinced that our solutions are well, talking about in 1805 or in 1806 or in 1542, like anybody here was at that place at that time that couldn't report.
Yeah.
You see two black men arguing about whether the King of England was on the throne in 1845 or 1846. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And then what shady
And
was.
it's
And what shady was.
And then the question is like, well, were you there?
Yeah.
You weren't there. No, somebody told you this. Wherever you got your information from, and it wasn't a black person that told you this. You got it from some book that you didn't write or your people didn't write. So again, ultimately, my point is that we said it. It's an education thing. We don't believe, respect, or rate education.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you.
We just don't.
Thank you.
We just don't. We don't like it. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's where we've failed.
We used to turn our nose up at Africans walking around, big grown man not walking around with his briefcase and his book underneath his arm, but he's going to university.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if you lived
myself.
through that time. I don't know if you lived through that time. Right.
No. I lived through a time where when I was going to a university and I had an elder man tell me that I was going to Euroversity, my youth.
Yeah.
You're going to Euroversity.
And I learned There you go.
I learned to market and I learned to sell, which is why I'm successful in what I'm doing.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And it's not a show off thing. It's the fact is that in my opinion, you have to arm yourself with the ability, right, to accumulate information and assimilate information into what you need to express for your future, right?
Well,
so
it's about education, you know.
Right.
We don't, as a community, we don't rate it, we don't respect it. The only education we respect is that of the ancient Egyptians, really and truly. You know, that's it. That's the only education.
Hold on. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this, and always big you up as well, right? I'm waiting for your book to come out. Your book.
No,
right?
I mean, in time, sure, possibly. But I'm working on some other stuff before all of that stuff.
All right then.
You know.
Okay then. All right. Then. Thank you very much, my brother.
Peace.
Good to hear from you. Well, Kwame. Greetings.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Greetings. Yeah. Wow.
Greetings. What's your contribution this evening, sir?
It's interesting with that rubbish, the hard work that people is doing, right? That means you might as well first this book and put it in the bin. The Black King of England, right? You just put it in the bin. That she's wasted about 2 years of her life right in that book, put it in the bin. Because it's of no significance.
Go on. I know. Wait a minute. Listen. I remember. I do recall. Right? You stating that when it initially came out, when it was initially released, right? And I thought, whoa, this brother's a fast reader, right? So hey,
But anyway, you
Yeah,
know,
go on.
I mean, I agree with Remet in terms of we need to be thinking futuristic, right? In terms of like,
Yeah.
you know, what we plan for our children for another 100 years,
Mm.
you know, and there's a couple of things there, right? One, when he said, you know, we don't value education, who's he talking about, and what education is he talking about?
Right. Education. Let me tell you something. For me, right, and I know that Brother MX was probably alluding to this as well, right? Is that we need to be thinking of our future development, right? I personally, I'm going to say, I've been avoid saying it, right? I feel that we're going to have a civil war, right there on the continent of Africa, right? Because the way how things are actually happening right now, right? People being assassinated on a regular basis, and the way how that we are literally allowing, right, other political systems to come in and literally murder our people, which is
But
ridiculous, which
what
is
does,
ridiculous.
but what has that got to do with, you know, the point that he made about education? I'm asking you, what education is that about, right? And whose education? So what education
Right.
and whose education is he talking about?
Okay then. Right. You see what you're saying there now. Right.
We don't value
Wait,
education. So I
wait a
want
minute,
to
wait
know.
a minute, wait a
Oh,
minute, wait.
so if we don't value education,
Allow me to formulate what I'm
all right,
gonna say. Allow
okay.
me to formulate what I'm gonna say.
Hmm?
Right. Education. Unfortunately to say, it is still a class education that we are subjected to globally. If you have the money, you will be educated into certain things. You will be taught different levels. When I played that clip earlier on from the young brother who was in South Africa, right? And he's saying, why are we not taught about mining minerals, right? Why are we not taught about international commerce, right? They don't even have those lessons within their schooling system, their schooling structure, right? Why? Because it's usually the people who are like in the private education who's going to be taught about those, because they want those people in those type of jobs, right? You understand? So therefore, we know that we're going to be lacking. We know that we're going to be lacking, right? So therefore, we know that what's needed, but we need to be educating ourselves beyond that, because we're supposed to be setting a standard way beyond, so that they are going to be following us,
Okay,
right?
right. But do you know, right? Okay, but because of time, right? Do you know what you haven't answered the question, right? About whose education system and what education system, right? But if MX understands what I'm saying, right? He needs to understand, right, that education, right, is about nation building, your own black people,
Mm,
right? Not to get a job, not to work for the white man for 30 years and get a pension at 55. No, that's middle education,
mm,
right? Education of the future, right, should be that, you know, yes, get your degree, but use that for nation building of your community, whether
mm.
it's here or whether it's outside this country,
Right.
right?
I'm gonna.
So you think you're,
I'm gonna.
so you think,
I have to say, even though I feel that, brother, have you come back? Have you come back again, brother?
Yeah, I just wanted to say what education I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Great. I'm glad you come back. Right. And I've got another brother. Brother. I want to bring in before the time. Right. The education that we do need, in my opinion, and I'm going to say it again, in my opinion, right, is far beyond what we are being subjected to right now. And I say subjected to, right? And the reason why I say that, I do believe 15-year-olds should be at degree level, right? This is why,
more than that,
huh?
even more than that.
Well, if it's more than that, there's more than that. But in my opinion, that should be the standard, even for now, right? They should be at degree level. Yeah. Can I just bring in another brother there? Brother Nenekuti, please.
Yes, Mahat Hotep, my brother.
Mahat Hotep, man.
Yes. Hey, it's been very interesting conversation this evening, you know. Very, very, very enjoyable too, you know, because some critical points were raised today, you know, which is, I haven't had a conversation like this for a very long time. You know? Very critical, you know, and big up to Brother Ray, you know, that brother, he had a lot of sense, you know, serious brother, you know, because he brought a lot of points, you know, if you're a deep thinker, you see that we're in the serious problems, you know, it's serious. And, you know, I just want to ask that brother, MX, he said that, you know, people that were being enslaved, you know, they were dreaming, at that time to be driving a car. Yeah, but those people there, have they seen a car before? You know, so I didn't get the point he was trying to make, why he's saying that, you know, we are privileged to be driving cars today and living in the house today and wearing clothes on our backs.
Right. Okay. Then.
But
Fortunately, he's come back, so he can correct.
Those were enslaved. Enslaved at that time, you know, the white man was raping the women. The women were thinking about driving a car.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So I don't know, my brother. See, when Brother Ray came on, Brother Ray.
I will answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me hear what you're
saying about that. He's here to
Brother Astor, he said, change your show coming to an end here. But seriously, today I would have broke down 13 things for you.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you another 30 minutes over the time if this subject continues, okay?
My brother, thank you very much.
Yeah, okay.
MX, carry on. Let's go.
Okay, so your question was, you know, I'll be honest with you. The first thing is, I don't really take opinion on slavery from people that probably were never enslaved, first of all. I don't really listen to those people because I don't think that you can really understand. I think if your people were my people were from Jamaica. If your people are from Jamaica or the Caribbean or America, you completely understood what I meant by when I said we are the dreams of our enslaved ancestors. You would understand it. You wouldn't question it. I think the reason why you question it is because you're not of that ilk. First of all, but I'm not necessarily saying I'm so
one at a time, please.
I'm not simply saying that driving a car, because you're quite right. But I mean, right now, sir, we have a freedom to create. We have a freedom to create business. We can do. Look, Akon's build it. Not even Akon. Let me not use the African. You know, we've got the freedom to build, sir. We building brands, businesses. We can do this today. The ancestors that I'm talking about could not do this. They could not. I can choose to love the woman that I want to love. Yeah, I could see that woman over there. That's the woman that can do that. My ancestors couldn't do that. If they fell in love with that woman, it would have to have been a secret. Why? Because if the white man found out, they'd probably kill him or rape her, or you know, some madness. You don't want to see your lover. You don't want to see the love of your life go through that stuff, especially as a man, and you can't back it for her. So this is what I'm saying, sir.
Just pause there a second. Just pause there a second, please. There was a time when the person who owned the land, and this is in the UK, owned the land, right? That they would sleep with the bride before the marriage. Yeah. Okay. So that's the barbarism that they instilled in their society. All right. Continue, brother MX. Go on, brother.
I just want to respond. Yeah, my brother MX. No, no. Seriously, you asked a very critical question when you said, "What is the future of Black people?" Yeah, is anybody talking about it? Yeah. Then what I heard was you was alluding to the fact that the system that we are in, we can utilize what we have now, yeah, to create a nation. Yeah. So we should stop relying on the past. Right. But then you quickly went to the past and said their dreams is what we are experiencing today. Yeah. Yeah. That's going to the past. Yeah.
Okay. So I know.
No. Let me finish. I'm trying to make a point here. Yeah. So you understand. This is critical. Yeah. Critical thinking. So you have to understand the question that you asked: what is the future for Black people? Yeah. If our ancestors are dreaming what we are experiencing, yeah, would they be happy?
Is that a question? That's a question for me?
Yeah.
Would our ancestors?
Because you seem to think that, you know, in the ancient time we were very restricted.
I think my ancestor would be very, very happy with me. Very, very happy with who I am and what I'm doing and what I'm achieving and how I'm working. I think they would be very happy, sir. Very happy. But the task for me now, much like it was their dream, I have to dream too. So that's the future bit. I have to dream of a future where I want my forebearers to be thriving far better than I am. Far better than I am. But if we continue to keep the conversation simply about history, we're not going to think about, 50, 100 years into the future. We're not going to do it. And that's what we do. No. Me introducing the question of future will prompt people to talk future.
No, because people who think deeply, like Nelikuti myself, we think 50 years hence. So I know what I want for my children, right? Which is the reason why I'm here. So I'm developing a foundation so my children bring to it for no one but themselves, and I will leave a legacy, right? So they can aspire to and that they can hold on to and pass on to their children. That's what we call legacy building. That's what we call intergenerational wealth.
Brother Kwame, that is brilliant, yeah. But then again, so that's brilliant, Brother Kwame. But you're one individual. So I'm talking to Brother Aston on a Galaxy platform because this is the conversation that many people are hearing, and so I'm thinking about the audience more so than just talking to you three brothers. And so I'm thinking like it's beautiful that Brother Kwame can do this, but do I see legacy building in the majority of my people where I work? No, I do not, sir.
No.
So I'm saying, as a community, we need to dream.
Well, right. So this is why we should be having a conversation about legacy building, about legacy planning, about intergenerational wealth. What are we, as brothers, as sisters, what we're gonna pass down to our children? What future do we want for our children?
You see.
What future do you want for our children? And I know that one, it may not be here. And B, also, we can't be in the position now where we are sending our children to be indoctrinated and assimilated into a system where they don't fit in. We got to create our own system.
One of the things that I feel that we like legacy. Obviously, that's a generational thing. One of the things that wait a minute, Brother Kwame, please. Right. One of the things that we have to realize, right, is that what our desires and dreams are for the future of the Black community, we have to instill that within the generation that is coming through to say, this work, what we're doing or what I'm doing, right, or this part of the work is for the Black community. I would love for you to continue this work, right? But also we have to separate that this is for the community and this is for you, right? A lot of people have seen their fathers and their mothers do some serious community work, and as soon as they close their eye, they just split it up, sell off everything, and then go along about them business.
Brother Aston.
Yes.
Yeah. The answer to the question has been answered. I mean, what is the future for the Black? Yeah. The black future is already done. It's done. There's you can't redo it. It's finished. The new
hold on. Did you say it's finished? Did you say it's finished?
It's finished. It's done. It's been completed.
Okay.
It's
Continue.
finished. But it's just playing out now. Yeah, we're playing out, and we're gonna walk into the future. Yeah, there's a Black narratives out there already. Yeah, there's a Black structure out there already. We have Black politicians. Like, you see, this is why I say to you, what Ray was talking about is very, very critical. Yeah, you have to have the basic tenet of how to critically apply common sense to really understand what he was trying to say to us. The system is already done. It's done. They've created it. Yeah. So you saying that you want a black future where you have to leave a legacy. Yeah. For the black. The black's already been done. Yeah. What you need to understand is see yourself as an African.
Well, I would say I know Brother MX is going to come with something else on top of that.
Into your ideology.
Can I ask you a question?
You are integrating
the
black future into your paradigm. Black future was created by Caucasians.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to critically understand this. So you are integrating that into African. This is where the confusion comes in.
No. All right. No. Okay. Hold on. Brother MX, please. Brother MX.
All right. I hear you. Sorry, this brother was just talking. I hear what you're saying. So I think if I understand what you're saying to me that because I'm using the term black, then I'm pushing the European ideology forward, correct?
Black Lives Matter, doesn't it?
No, not to me it didn't, and not to me it didn't, and it never did. In fact, brother, I was one of the very first people to tell this community that was BS. Yeah, and I had brothers, and I had brothers coming at me left, right, and center, telling me I was doing wrong because I was telling you black lives don't matter. They don't. Yeah, I can tell you that. So black lives don't matter.
What is the future of the black?
What is the future of the what is the future of the black? Well, it's similar to what Brother Kwame was saying in terms of legacy and stuff like that. But I'll tell you something. It's really interesting what's happening in West Africa right now in terms of those countries there, Nigeria and Mali and what's coming from that. And I've seen some real positive things from Africa itself.
No, that's a fact. Don't pay too much into that.
Hold on, my brother. I'm answering your question. So I think, but I honestly believe that the future is for us to write, and I honestly believe that that's what's taking place now. But we have to consciously create our future. That's what I'm saying here.
Yes, listen. You made the point,
and not just. Go on.
Yeah, you made a very good point about those recent coups. Do you think the elites have something to do with those coups or not? Simple question, yes or no?
Yeah, I do think they have something to do with that.
Right. So that means this has been planned. Yeah? Planned long time ago to play out. We are living through their plan. This is what.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah. So hold. If you answered yes, so now you know that it's been planned. I ask again. What is the future for black?
Sorry, brother. Let me say this. I said yes because you wanted a short answer. The long answer would be like yes, but I couldn't tell you how they are involved in what they're doing, so I couldn't really speak on it really and truly. All I can see from hearing, all I can see is that there is a consciousness that's growing in Africa, especially with the young people, that I think will serve Africa's future very, very, very well, regardless of how this narrative plays out.
MX, think about this.
Hold on.
Sorry, think about
this. Hold on. Allow Brother MX to complete his point of.
Please. That's all right, bro. No, we're not sensitive like that. Go ahead, fam. Go.
No. I was just trying to pick on the fact that you said consciousness with the youth in Africa today, yeah, and it's rising, and they seems to be doing the things that we wish for them to do, right? But just check this scenario, yeah. If all the European countries, yeah, have planes, empty planes, and they land in those African countries today, yeah, and they said free travel to Europe, how many African youth do you think will jump on these planes? With the consciousness that they have, the consciousness that you identified with them now when you spoke. How many of those African youths will jump on those empty planes and come? This is hypothetical.
Yeah, hypothetical.
But it makes think about it, please, and come to Europe, because some of them are going through the waters right now. Yeah,
not many.
Yeah. What?
Now, I honestly believe that, much like Brother Kwame just said, I don't think as many. Let's say, for example, I don't think as many will jump on that plane as possibly 20 years ago would have jumped on the plane.
Yes.
Right. But some will.
You're falling for the narrative. You're falling for the narrative, right? That we're so desperate, right? That we think that Europe is a land of milk and honey, right? Many Africans, even on the go, you should know this, right? There's Ghanaians on the ground, 2021, never been outside, right? They're in Ghana, studying hard, and they're in Ghana starting businesses, thriving, right? And doing well, right? They've left Legon, they've left Tech, right? And are doing for themselves. They're not begging no one, not begging the government, not waiting on government to give them jobs. They are creating their own jobs. They are creating things, right? In fintech, in online, on science and technology, that they are using to better themselves and also better Ghana.
Yeah. So what's wrong with that?
No, but you said right that if there was a empty plane, right? You said you're thinking, right, that all the Africans in Washington plane, right, I want to go to the West. I'm saying to you, that's not necessarily the case. It may be years ago.
Collectively, my brother. Collectively, my brother. You see the example we just gave. It's collectively. Are we all doing that collectively? As you just spoke about those brilliant people doing and making so much money and very, 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 very wealthy. Yeah? Actually, are we doing it collectively? Huh? Or is this a selected few? Like one or two out of billions?
Well, if you put it in the grand scheme of things, right, it may not be that. If you put
How else would I? How else?
Hold on, let me learn. If you put it in the grand scheme of things, it's not what it should be. But the potential is there because the youth now, their eyes are beginning to get open, right? Is that they can team up with the other team because even look at these people that are doing science and technology in Ghana, right? They are working amongst themselves. These people working amongst themselves, right? To build gadgets that can be used to better themselves and better the economy. Right? These are not single individuals. These are youth that have teamed together, right? They met in tech and they've got together after their studies and are doing businesses, right? Or they met in Nairobi, right, doing businesses, or they met in University of Cape Town and doing and are now forming businesses.
It's good. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not saying, that's a good thing. But what I'm trying to show you, my brother, the tools are there for us to use, to make a great nation of ourselves, it's there. That was the purpose of them being here, those beings that we always call whatever, that was the purpose. So the tools are here. Everything's here for us to use. We know this. But what is missing? This is something missing. It's not really clicking collectively among us. Listen, I don't have to know you personally, to be able to do something to unite with you. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So what I'm trying to say to you is everybody, if you're listening to this, the whole purpose of us as African people, you have to listen to this, is to be able to critically apply common sense at any given moment. That's what we are. You have to be a thinker. Yes, everybody have to do this. Whether you like it or not, you have to be a thinker. You see, that is the purpose of we. The tools are already here. We can use it, but it's because we're not thinking correctly. You see, everybody throw this word around spirituality. They get it all wrong. See, because it's a black future. That's spirituality. They romanticize it, thinking it's some ancestral. I don't know. It's crazy to me. Ancient people the requirement for you to be an ancient, like to venerate your ancient ancestors. You have to have the correct method of applying common sense at any given moment. It doesn't matter what it is. Knowledge is different. You can study knowledge and acquire skills. But when you have common sense, you must have a gift, a purpose that comes with you. When you study that purpose.
It's not common, is it?
No, it has to be common. That's the point, my brother. We're not thinking together. No.
You're not negative, right? When you go together and talk about common sense, right? People think you're insulting them.
My brother, that's because they have manipulated the truth. So now we are believers.
Huh?
They have been Listen, they have manipulated the truth.
This is what I'm saying.
They have manipulated the truth with something. Do you know what it is? We have become believers. Do you know what tool they use to manipulate the truth?
Yes.
Do you know what it is? I'm asking you a question. Or whoever wants to answer this.
Yeah, they use trickery, deceit to fool us into believing something else when what we had already was already doing for us. So they manipulate our minds.
They have manipulated the truth with lies.
Of course, that's what I said, trick and deceit.
Yes, with
That's
lies.
right.
And now we've become believers. We've become believers. That's who we are now. Yes, that's why two black people can argue about King James. That's what two black people can tell each other, that there was a king called whoever. And they were all black people. Black
so my brother.
We have black Europeans among us, my brother. We have black Europeans. I'm telling you something critical here. We have black Europeans. Yes, we need to identify these black Europeans because they were the original people from this land and they were shipped over to Africa and the Caribbean. These black Europeans look like me and you, my brother. They weren't Africans. They're African by color. That's it. That's the only connection is just by skin color. That's what makes them African. But they're really Europeans, original people from these lands. They are here. They are everywhere. Black Europeans. Yeah, that's the black future. Black Europeans. FBA in America and FBB in the UK. The same movement. It's already been done. It's set. We're playing into it. Yes, you have Africans, well, so-called Africans, saying that they're the original people of America. FBA, they call themselves. Then in the UK, you have original, well, so-called Africans.
Hold on a second,
listen, my brother.
Sorry.
You're not critically thinking.
No. Listen. You can't tell me I'm not critically thinking, bro. Trust me.
Okay. Come with that.
You can't tell me that, bro.
Come with that.
They don't know. They don't know the beast from within, innit?
No, they don't. You can't tell me I'm not critically. My question is this: it's interesting because what you said is that you asked Brother Kwame, you asked both of us, what did they use to stop the truth? And it was lies. It was lies, right? That's what you said. It was lies. It was all these lies that's what they've used to
manipulate the truth.
To manipulate the truth. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you what I believe. I'm believable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what I believe. I think that what you'll find is that you'll get people like FBA. These things will rise up. Why? Because they too understand that the narrative, the lies, are everywhere. So it makes more sense. It makes more sense to throw out all of that nonsense and start again, really and truly, and build your own narrative. Mm-hmm. It makes more sense to trash all of that, and that's why you're going to get the FBAs, because they understand that they've been caught up in the loop and it's not going anywhere. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. And so they need to build, and we need to do the same. To be honest, mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying, like, if as a community, if 90% of our conversations are going to be about history, we're going to fail. Do you understand? Because we actually need to throw away all of that trash, all of it.
No, history must be told. You have to know history.
Sorry, no. Yeah,
no, we have to know history. That's a must. We must know it.
But my guy. So again, imagine that you're going to say I ain't critically thinking. I'm sure you're suffering of some cognitive dissonance here, because on the one hand you're saying, on the one hand, hold on. On the one hand, you're saying that the history is lies, it's lies, and on the other hand, you're saying you have to teach the history. Which is it?
Yeah, the correct history. If there's a lie history, if the history is a lie, don't you want to know the truth?
No, then
no, you don't want to know the truth.
My brother, what happens is that, like I said in it, what happens is that you get men arguing about it was 1644, it was 1645.
Yes, that's all lies.
These nonsense conversations. So what I'm saying to you,
no, it's not. It is a nonsense, but it's lies as well. Yeah, that's why it's a nonsense. Because it's lies.
What I'm saying is that it's better that we used to, as a community, we used to draw a line under it all. Say, listen, none of that serves us anything. And from this day,
no, my brother, you have to know correct history.
We build.
You have to know correct history. You can't build a so-called black future, on just scrapping everything and starting from wherever you are now.
my guy, listen to me very, very carefully. I'm not that attached to the term black. It could be Nubia, it could be Africa. I don't really care, to be fair. Just so long as I see my people thriving and my people being these wide-nosed, thick-lipped, high-melanated people.
That's right.
I don't give a two rats what it's called, to be honest.
I'm with you on that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm with you on that.
Draw a line and we build forward.
Yeah, correctly, because we will definitely delve into history. But what I'm saying is, it's very important to know that we must know the truth, because the truth right now has been manipulated with lies, and we have become believers. Yeah. So, I don't mind if you have a good idea. I will support it. That's why I chose to become a member of ACU. So, because I will never be in the same, places, because people don't get the whole concept. Yeah, they believe in lies, but they think it's the truth. This is what the manipulation does. And it goes deeper, my brother. So, just to bottle it all up, the basic necessity for any living human being. Yeah, because if spirit is just breath, the breath you intake, if that's what spirit is the breath. Is it only exclusive to Africans for breathing? No. Everybody can breathe. Any human being can breathe on this, and even animals breathe. That's what spirit is. It's just air. Breathe. Air will breathe. So, but the fundamental aspect we must be as Africans is to have the critical ability to apply common sense. This is why our spirituality in ancient times was practical. It was very practical, applicable. Yeah, you could apply it all the time at any given moment. And it was very practical. Science. Practical science with applied mathematics, my brother. It's just basically that's what it is. For you, for the layman, it means common sense. So at any given moment, you have to use it, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter what money you have in your bank account, doesn't matter. You have to apply that. That's one thing you can naturally connect. It will connect the dots. You see?
So all you've done is just prove what I said from the jump, really, which is this is about education.
No.
Hold on, my guy, hold on. Yeah, it's about education, because what you did, you said it was about mathematics. You said it was about physics. Now, we have this is what I'm saying. In the black community, we have a massive problem, because we don't really lift up our mathematicians and our physicians like how we should. Do you understand? We don't rise them up like they. Like, if I said who was the top black mathematician right now, who would you say? Now there definitely is one. There's a black guy out there right now. There's an African guy out there right now doing mad numbers. But you couldn't tell me his name. Hold on. And this is our failing. It's not white. It's our failing.
Rocket scientist, I'm not talking about some rocket scientist thing. Yeah, not like that. Yeah, I'm just saying common sense, my brother. That's all it takes. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, my brother. You don't need to go to school for this one. Yeah,
I didn't use the term rocket science, so I don't know where you got that from.
Charge. This one trying to say, the science is free of charge. The mathematics is free of charge. That's all I'm saying. There's no ego involved in this. There's no bravado, nothing. I'm just being basic with you. Yeah, my brother. It's just sense. Just apply it. It's rationale. Anybody can ration. See, brother came on. See, I don't know brother away from anywhere. But the way he spoke, yeah, you can say that he's a thinking man. He thinks.
I'll tell you, my brother. I don't. No. Listen.
In whatever capacity you are, yeah. Naturally,
listen to me very carefully.
The energy thing.
You're not listening. So there is no way, again.
But you're saying don't go back to history.
There is no way
you say that. That's what I'm saying to you. History is there, but there's so many lies in history because people don't understand. Yeah. So don't say we shouldn't go back, because you're thinking history is what derailing us, is what's holding us back. No, it's not. It's nonsense that's holding us back. Because why?
No. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But again, brother, you're not in a position to tell me about Brother Ray. I'm the ex-chairman of the Black Father Support Group. I know Brother Ray very, very well. I know what Brother Ray is about. Very, very well. You understand? So again, you're making a couple of assumptions here. You just need to allow it.
What's wrong with my testament?
So like I'm saying, But what I'm saying is that again, my points with this: education we don't rate and we need to respect it. Nobody's speaking about black futures, and we need to start doing that. We need to start dreaming and doing that.
We just spoke about black future.
No, we didn't.
No,
we didn't.
No,
I didn't hear nothing about the future.
You were speaking more into the mindset of some of the young people then, but you weren't talking about the future in any way whatsoever. I never picked that up at all.
No, so
no future talk.
Yes, came on.
So okay, so
Let Brother MX speak, please.
Okay.
No, but Brother Aston, this is the problem. This is the issue. This brother thinks he was talking about the future, and he wasn't even talking about the future because I didn't hear nothing about it.
Exactly.
But he honestly believes that he was talking about the future.
Hold on, Nicole. That is the thing, is that we are still in the development of speaking and developing our language to speak about the future, right? So that is the thing. I mean, I know when I say everyone's like, why you keep saying it like that? Because the fact is that if your mindset is still on and built with what you have right here, right now, that is all you shall have, right? You have to have that visionary conversation.
That's it, and that's why it's important to go. For example, this history, because somebody like Kwame Nkrumah, he was a visionary. He fought 50 years, 100 years ahead. That's why the motorway that he built in Ghana is still there today, more than 60 years after it was built. So
it's documented. We know this is the point.
No, but I think that is not history.
What?
Is that wrong history?
Of course, that's history. That's what we want to go back to history.
Right. Okay. Let me
No, that's gonna happen.
Brother, I have to respect you. I'm gonna jump off. Thank you.
Then. All right. Thank you for joining us this evening, anyhow. Because I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, and then I have to go. I have to go now, right? I have to go.
The whole point is about we've become lazy believers. Yeah, we're believing we're lazy.
Okay, I agree with you to that. I agree with that.
What I'm saying to you, it's the mental capacity. It's just so basic. We are not doing the right thing, because, order, when you have order, you have this balance all the time. Once there's balance, truth, So, but we're very disorderly. Why? Because we're not thinking correctly. My brother. So it's not like I'm coming here to insult anyone. No.
And this is what hold on. That is what the Fathers Group is about. Because you may come with your view and your ideal of how you express it, right? Another person will come with their view and how they express it, right? And out of that, we get a clarity. We develop a clarity of communication. Yeah.
Have no issues.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Well, listen, let me tell you something, yeah? I said this before to you. Ironically, it's just you're the same pilot as well. I said to you, I don't have to disagree to agree with you. All I want is what makes sense.
Okay, then, right. Yeah. I've just allowed another caller to come in. Let's allow this caller to come in and make the expression.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means I don't want to be here. You're saying to me. Yeah. So I don't want to disagree with you. I want to.
No. It doesn't matter if you disagree. It doesn't matter if you disagree.
No.
Because hold on. This is a discourse. This is a discourse platform. Okay, right? Okay. Let me just bring in this other caller here. 3546, please.
Oh, the topic is very interesting. Rise up, everybody.
Rise up. Right. Look at you coming on the last second of the show now. Come on.
I've got 1 second to go. Listen, brothers, you're talking a lot of sense, but it seems like you're all disagreeing on the same point.
Okay. Now, right. Now. Okay then, brothers. You hear what's happening. You hear what's happening.
It seems like some confusion, argument between big heads that are kings foundation setters,
That's right. That's right.
builders, makers for our next generation. So whether you agree, disagree, or using this terminology or that word, it doesn't matter per se. And the last, I've got one more second to go.
Go on, go.
I don't get why we're panning on Africa when we're not looking in our own backyard.
There you go.
Soon it roads will be there. So while go on with that, we're building schools where? Well done, congratulations, that's abroad. What? There's academies now. You have to be in this area code to go to that school. That's BS.
We know that. We know.
That they're doing this abroad and that abroad and Africa this and Africa that. Well done, clap for yourself. But it's about your back garden, your home front.
What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Exactly.
Where's my SE? Future King.
But that's
no. I don't even know your names, if that makes sense. Don't interrupt.
Hey?
I'm a silent listener. Yes, hey.
That's
no,
right.
Man, don't talk to me like that, beloved. They ain't gonna talk to me like that. That's some decorum, beloved. They talk to me like.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Whoa. Hold on, brother Kwame.
Assistance from nonsense. Like, I'm a silent listener. Do you know how much courage it took me to call in right now? I'm hearing big man with very good. All of you have so much good, great opinions, and you're arguing against each other. Over wildings. And this is an information that every single one of you. So no disrespect, we all have to listen to each other. I say, okay.
Well, this. Hold on. My sister. Let me try and put some context onto this now.
I've been listening. I know the context you guys have been talking. And I don't even have the correct wording. This is another thing which I really appreciate you guys. It's our language as well. Because you're not guys, you're not dolls.
Yeah.
Or boys or friends.
Well, hold on. As I said earlier on, right? You know, a brother or a sister can come on here, and they have formulated their view and their perception on things, right, in their way. They come and express it. They come and express it, right?
Yes.
And then from there,
to the point at the last 5 however minutes, yeah, where, as I said, I'm a silent listener, so I'm listening intently, and I appreciate you guys for the uprising of our melanin. This is the next thing. Language, black. Who's black? I feel me football. Oh my day. And I'm not going to pick out different words, how we're nickily pickling over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But let's look at our back garden. Let's look at where we lie our head. No disrespect. Because we carry ourselves as our good keke and carry our Africa. And that's all good. But I feel like we're adopting their charitable system. You already started off saying it. I don't know if it was you per se, but maybe it was a kind of a ring tune or what have you. On if a politician comes and says, no, Gagia, which he's already told us, he's not going to give us the thing. What we are going to do? Yeah, I go run Africa and do school. Where you school there? On Schumann Road. Wait there.
Good one.
And yes, no. On average, we don't go to March. We don't go to this. We don't go, but we're going to watch the TV for some American MTV sitting and spend my Google money at Nigeria.
Crazy.
It's not crazy. That's real life. Just 6 cents from nonsense. Let's collaborate all our heads together, knock them, well, combine, conjoin, I don't know. Says it's rocket science, I don't know, or this one or that one, and me, I don't know. Africa. Every day I see Africa on TV, but send this money, trichomoniasis, this HIV, this KKK. Our youth have ADHD, arrest problem, no school uniform.
Right, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to close all the lines now because it's come to the bottom of the hour. Right, I have to go home and do some home duties and everything else. I put an extension. of 30 minutes.
I hope that makes sense.
You need to come in earlier on, my dear. Come on now.
I'm a silent listener. Like, I just thought, no, stop this argument. The argument was futile, and every single one of you had so much valid points. All of you made sense.
Yeah.
So I don't get where it's like you want to knock each other out in a boxing ring. No, sir. We join hands together.
All right then. Listen. I'm gonna have to close it off now. Anyhow, listen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being joining us with the Black Father Support Group this evening. Right, and I, you know something. I've got some trolls. on the YouTube channel. So you know, I what was it? NIGGER. I don't know what that one is, and then another one NIGGER. I don't know.
Yeah, some white chosen. Yeah.
For
the future.
Yeah. Anyhow. No, anyhow. Yeah, we'll get back. We'll get back to them. Anyhow, thanks for watching.
Yes.
On the YouTube, right? And on the Facebook as well, right? So anyhow, listen, we'll join you again next strong. Okay, let's keep the conversation going, right? And let's make things really good for ourselves here on the Black Father Support Group show and on the galaxyforwe.net. So until then, all the best. Okay, let's do this one.
Just like the dew that cling to dawn, I'll cling to you, my love. I can't erase the memories of things we used to do. Oh, how I love you, girl. Oh, how I love you. Now I sit alone with memories by the storm. You remind me of the golden sun that shines after the storm. Oh, how we used to plan a life in dreamland for us both. Now you have shattered our plan and got yourself another man. Now I sit alone with memories by the storm. I pray the star may safely keep and watch you while you sleep. And day by day the sun will shine as you trot along the way.